Leading a team effectively can be very difficult if you do not put the right things in place, but it can get even harder if people working remotely. So we're going to discuss how do you effectively manage a team that is working remotely. Welcome back to my channel, Creating, Maintaining and Enjoying Your Professional Life. On this channel, we discuss all things education, finding the right course, managing life as a student, and the final stages of education, the transition from education into employment. And when you get to a career, how do you pick the right career and simply enjoying life as a professional. We know it is not easy when you don't see each other face to face, but work has to go on. And you understand that needing support has no boundaries, whether you're a manager, whether you're just an employee, or from the lowest level of work to the highest band there is. Everybody needs support. Everybody needs help. So today's help is directly to managers. How do you effectively manage and be happy? The first thing that you need to understand is that communication is key, is the first step that needs to be done right in order to ease the process of managing people remotely. You need to understand that working from home could be new or is new to some people. You managers who are leading and the people you're leading. So there's more chances that there's going to be fear of how things are going to be done. So your first job or one of your main job is to make sure that you eliminate things that could cause fear and put a comfortable space or a comfortable way of communicating, a comfortable way of doing things so that the people you're leading may know that, you know what, I am okay anytime my manager is available to support me. But if you do not make that evident, they'll be fearful. They'll think, you know what, I don't know what to do. And that's the worst situation you want them to be in. So make sure you make it so comfortable for them to communicate to you. Avoid overloading people just because they're working from home. And you do it unaware, or you don't know, just because people are working from home doesn't mean that they have a whole day or they have their entire life just to do work. No, they have a life of their own. They have children, they have a family, so they have to put everything together. Even though working from home or managing teams working remotely could seem like it's flexible, it is, but then if you do not be careful on how you manage the people, you could end up making it stressful. Make sure when you're coming up with ideas to interact with your team or lead your team remotely, you have a wide range of ideas. You have to make sure you cater everybody. Obviously, that's your job to lead, so it's your job to find out what and each of your employee wants. So don't keep it only on one, keep a variety. I cannot stress this enough, but you need to make sure that your team has the right tools they need to do their job. Just because they work from home and you give them a laptop or you give them a computer or whatever you give them does not mean that they have everything else they need to do. And they might be afraid to tell you that I don't have everything I need, because you know what? They might think I'm going to lose my job, so I just need to say yes. But in actual sense, they're at home struggling because they cannot afford a desk, they cannot afford Wi-Fi, or they cannot afford a laptop, they cannot afford whatever they don't have, but they won't say because they're afraid. So make sure that you put a process in place to assess what they need, what they have, and what you can give them. And be clear in the beginning. And after you do that, make sure that everything you provide is in a working condition. Don't give me a laptop that's broken up or it needs to be fixing all the time, and I don't have access to IT to make sure that they work it on for me, and expect that I'm going to be doing what I need to do whenever I need to do it because I'm fidgeting with the laptop or I'm fidgeting with whatever tools I'm using. So make sure you provide and make sure they're in working condition. Make sure there's a good working relationship between teams, essential teams. If you know that, for example, everybody in the organization would depend on what IT is set up. If you've got people in IT who cannot communicate properly, make sure you let them know that we need communication, because if I cannot turn on my computer and I need help, I'm going to sit down until I get support. Obviously, I'll do all I can, but I cannot do it because my skills are not to be fixing IT equipment. So make sure there's a good collaboration between different teams, and make sure that you know that what they need is provided. Just because people are working from home or remotely does not mean that they have all their entire life dedicated on work. They have things like families, they have their life to look, their well health to look after. So when you're overloading them with work, it doesn't do any good, rather causes more harm. So what you need to know is to structure how much work goes to them and understand exactly how much someone can accomplish in a day or in a week as you give them targets. So you might think that, you know what, yes, they're not going to be traveling to work, so they've got all that time. That is not the case. So think about how much work and avoid overloading your employees. One thing I've learned when it comes to working from home or leading people who are working remotely, you need to have a structure. You can't just think that, you know what, they're at home, so therefore they're available all the time. I've done this mistake myself, where you're calling all the time, sending emails, until I was like, okay, no, it doesn't work. You need to have a structure in place and know that, you know what, okay, I'll send them this kind of emails. After a while, I'll call them, or I'll send them this kind of work. You can't just bombard them with work after work after work and thinking they have so much time. No, remember, they're at home, but they also have other duties they have to do in their home. Make sure your employees are well coordinated. If you've got an IT person working remotely somewhere else, and you've got a manager somewhere else, you've got customer service somewhere else, make sure that there's coordination, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to avoid stress. It's going to avoid people being stranded, and make sure that they communicate well. If you know in advance that your team is going to be managed remotely, make sure that during your recruitment process, you select people with the right skill set, so that you won't be worried whether they're going to be able to do the job or not. You won't be worried that if you give them instruction, they won't do it because they have no idea what goes on. If not, then make sure that you provide the training that is required for people to know before they're actually sent away. Because if you do not do that and rely on them, the truth is, could be that they don't know what to do. And it's all simply because they've never done it and the training is not provided. So make sure that that is paid attention to and provided. You need to have a clear understanding of the skill sets you have remotely to increase productivity, because if you have people all over the place and you yourself have no idea who can do what and have no structure, have no plan in place, what's going to happen? You will be sending work to people expecting them to do it, but they cannot do it. And if there's no help because of your poor communication, then productivity is going to be out of place. So make sure that you understand the skill set, and next to this, plan their development. Just because they're away from the site doesn't mean that you don't even know when they've done their training. You haven't organized anybody to kind of help them, even if they're coaching them or mentoring them on the phone or remotely. As long as you plan that there is some kind of support available for their development, that also will help you increase productivity. You cannot manage your employees off-site as if they're on site, like remotely as if they're on site. Reason being, in their homes, they can get up, they've got kids around, they've got things going on, so they decide, you know what, I'm going to do everything I want to do during the day, and then 3 a.m. I'm going to make sure I sit on my project and do it, which is different from at work, because you wake up 9 o'clock, get to work, come back, 5 o'clock, close the computer. So you need to put that in your mind and concentrate more on things, on what they've done, rather than constantly managing them. So take that out of your head. It will ease your stress and it will help you manage. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions relating to my topics, please feel free to send them to me. I will answer them. I will do my research. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment. Give me what you think about what I say, and I'll carry on. Thank you. Please stay connected.